Have you ever been there? Just nodding along, pretending you totally get what someone's saying about your new phone or some deal at the store? Yeah, we've all done it. Well, today, we're going to decode all that confusing everyday language. We're going to give you the tools you need to feel clear and confident no matter the situation. Right? It's a feeling pretty much everyone knows. You feel like you're speaking a completely different language. But you know what? That feeling of confusion, it ends today. We're going to break these terms down piece by piece so you can feel totally confident and in control. So here's our game plan. Think of this as our decoder ring for the day. First, we'll hit the checkout counter. Then we'll demystify the art of the deal. After that, we're going to translate some of that confusing tech talk. And finally, we'll arm you with some awesome phrases you can use pretty much anywhere. Okay, our first stop is the checkout counter. You know that last, sometimes super rushed moment of shopping where just a few key phrases can make all the difference. Let's decode what's really being said. You've seen them, right? The express checkout lane? It's nothing complicated. It's just a faster line for when you've only got a few things, usually about 15 items or less. It's really just designed to keep things moving quickly for everybody. And then, of course, there's the classic question. Paper or plastic? It always sounds so serious, but hey, it's not a trick question. All they're asking is what kind of bag you want for your stuff. Simple as that. And who doesn't love saving a little money? That's where coupons come in. Just think of them as these little vouchers, either a piece of paper or maybe a code on your phone that give you a nice discount on something you're buying. But here's the one thing you really gotta watch for with coupons. They can expire. If you hear that a coupon is expired, it just means it's past its use-by date and you can't use it anymore. And you'll see this word pop up for other things too, like a credit card or maybe that carton of milk in your fridge. Have you ever been paying for something and the cashier asks, "Would you like any cash back?" It's actually a super handy service. It lets you get cash right there at the register, so you don't have to make a separate trip to the ATM. You just tell them how much you want, they add it to your total charge, and then they hand you the cash. Easy. All right, so we've successfully navigated the checkout line. Now, let's step into the world of deals, promotions, and contracts, a place where the language can get, well, even more confusing. So you see this offer, right? And it seems way too good to be true. A free phone, a massive discount, and that little voice in your head kicks in. The first thing you probably think is this exact question. Asking what's the catch is your secret weapon. It's your way of saying, okay, I see the flashy part, now show me the hidden details. It is such a powerful question to help you find things like hidden fees or maybe a long contract you didn't know about, all the stuff that might make that great deal not so great. Okay, here's one that trips a lot of people up, especially with cell phones. Prepaid versus a monthly plan. It's actually pretty simple. With a prepaid plan, you pay for your service before you use it. With a monthly rate plan, you use the service for a month, and then you get a bill for what you used. Now, some of those monthly plans have a feature you want to look for called a rollover option. This is a great perk. It just means that any minutes or data you didn't use one month get carried over to the next, so you don't lose what you already paid for. And to kind of sweeten the deal, a salesperson might offer to throw something in. This is just a friendly, casual way of saying they'll include an extra item with your purchase, totally free, just to convince you to buy. Like they might throw in a free phone case if you sign up for a new plan. All right, let's take a deep breath and dive into the world of tech talk. I know, these terms can sound really intimidating, but we're about to show you just how simple the ideas behind them really are. You hear the word compatible all the time, but all it means is that two things can work together. That's it. For your phone to work, it has to be compatible with the phone company's network. For a piece of software to work, it's got to be compatible with your computer. See? They just have to play nice together. You know how fast technology moves, right? Well, because of that, things can become obsolete really quickly. And obsolete just means it's outdated, no longer useful because something newer and way better has come along to replace it. It's kind of crazy, but even a computer that's only a few years old can be considered obsolete. So, what makes a device fast or slow? It really comes down to its processor. The easiest way to think about it is that the processor is literally the brain of your computer or your phone. It does all the thinking. Its speed is measured in gigahertz or GHzs, and it's simple. The higher that number, the faster the brain, and the faster your device. Okay, let's talk about data storage, because we hear words like megabyte, gigabyte, and terabyte thrown around constantly. To really get a feel for the difference, imagine a megabyte is a single page in a book. Well, then a gigabyte is like a whole library full of books. And a terabyte, that's a massive bookstore with thousands of libraries inside it. Each step up is 1,000 times bigger. It's a huge leap. And oh boy, we have all felt the pain of this next one. When your computer freezes or crashes, it's that horrible moment when it just completely stops responding. The screen is stuck, your mouse won't move, clicking does absolutely nothing. It is so frustrating, and it is a universal tech problem for sure. All right, for our last section, let's look at some really flexible phrases. These are the kinds of things that can pop up in any of these situations we've talked about, or even just in your day-to-day conversations. Here are a few great ones. Asking someone to cut me some slack is just a casual way of saying, hey, please don't be so strict with me. If you say, it's just not my day, you're basically saying that a bunch of unlucky things have happened to you. Hearing you're in luck is always good news. It means something fortunate is happening for you. And if you say, I know where this is going, you're signaling that you get the real meaning behind what's being said. So what's the big takeaway from all this? Look, this isn't about memorizing a dictionary. It's about empowerment. When you understand this language, it gives you clarity to make smarter choices, and it gives you the confidence to feel in control of your daily life. And that brings us to one last question for you to think about. As our world gets more and more connected, more automated, there's going to be a whole new wave of jargon. So what new terms do you think are on the horizon? What's the next batch of words we're all going to need to learn? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.